From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hey, y'all, it's Caroline Gant.
Hey, y'all, it's Austin Lowen.
And Tyler Blankenship.
And hey, y'all, what else is going on? The butterflies and pollinators and blooming things are happening at summertime, and you just see them everywhere, don't you?
Buzz, buzz, bad boys.
They're all over the place. The
Buzzing
bees.
all over my Vitex, all over my zinnias, sunflowers.
Just
everything.
They're just drinking, man. It's just this time of year, it's hot. They're like, I need a drink.
It's alive.
It's alive.
I almost feel like having a Vitex is like a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
For
Everybody
pollinators,
needs
most
one.
definitely.
Everyone needs one.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it on the show, so listeners, you will hear us talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really what's on our minds right now, I think.
Oh, man. You just can't beat the Vitex when it comes to pollinators. For a non-native plant, okay? This plant's native to like Europe and Asia, okay? But it's naturalized here. And I'm not mad, you know, the
Since the 1600s.
Yes, I mean, it's been here forever. It's pretty much only like a zone 7, 8 plant. Like, honestly, I mean, it can live hotter than 8 probably. But really, that's where it wants to be, not much more north than that. But if you don't know Vitex, it's very similar to crepe myrtle and how it wants to grow. It grows like a weed. It's very drought resistant, but the pollinators love it. And like I said, for a non-native plant, it's not invasive really. It can reseed every once in a while, but for the most part, it's a plant that's naturalized here and lives just great. And like you said, Tyler, like the pollinators, you just can't. I mean, there's nothing better. Okay? And what else blooms like blue like that? Not very many things.
Not a lot of things.
No, not very many things. And
Catmint.
Catmint does, you're
Yeah.
right. Catmint's almost like the exact color
This
of
is
that.
like a bush form of catmint
There you
or
go.
tree form.
I see that.
If you love catmint and you want a big old shrub or what could be a tree, get you a Vitex.
I mean,
with
it gets
Vitex.
as wide as a truck. At least the one that I have.
So Caroline measures stuff in bird baths and Tyler does it in trucks.
Truck size,
Truck
British.
Hey,
size.
so you can visualize it instead of being like, yeah, it's about 2 to 3 feet, and then you're like,
I mean, when
How
it
big is that?
when it gets a few feet over your head, that's where you know, yeah.
it's truck size.
It's a
big.
growing champion.
It's monster truck size.
There you go.
How about that?
It's
There you
getting
go.
How about
monster
them
truck.
apples?
Love them
Hey,
apples.
speaking of apples.
How about them peaches?
Yeah, there it is.
that's
right.
You do the segue.
Tyler told me earlier this is peach week. This is whenever your
Peak
peaches
peach week.
are supposed to be about as ripe as they're going to be. And hopefully you've got some good peaches this year. We've been very wet, so there's been a lot of fungal activity out there. Hopefully your peaches are not susceptible to that. You did some good pruning last year to keep the airflow going. But yeah, if you're lucky enough to have ripe peaches, I mean, what? The fruit of the gods, right? There's nothing
Pretty
better than a
much.
juicy peach going down your cheek
Yeah.
That's right.
or your
Except for a
chin.
juicy plum.
No, plums
No.
ain't better than peaches.
No,
That-
they are.
No, negative.
No, I'm disagreeing with you, Tyler. on
Tyler,
this
the
one.
world is disagreeing with you. Peaches are way better than plums, man. Oh, silence. Yeah,
He was
you're
just like,
I don't
I'm not
agree.
going to say anything back to that.
2 out of 3, you bullied me into silence.
We were not
Sorry.
bullying.
We didn't mean to bully.
We
you.
always have discussions like this, Tyler.
I know.
Yeah. I feel like
I'm
sometimes
just
I'm the
being
only one.
melodramatic because you're being dramatic.
Always, Tyler.
Always. Yes.
Aren't you used to this?
Drama queen over
No,
here.
I'm not.
Uh-huh. But anyway, yes, I hope you've got your peaches blushing and looking good. And before we move on from the pollinators, I want to shout out to y'all two who did great work this past couple of weeks. I guess just really a week. Y'all gathered monarch butterfly.
Yes, we have been
larvae?
talking about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Y'all have. You put them in the little butterfly dome thing.
The enclosure.
The enclosure.
I like
there
dome
it is.
thing too.
Dome
That
thing.
works.
Uh-huh. That's
Something.
Uh-huh. But yeah, we got to watch them unfold literally and unfurl literally, and they turned into beautiful, beautiful butterflies.
And we are releasing them one at a time as they emerge.
It's amazing.
Yep. Last week we got a total of 6 out. There's been more coming out of the 10. So
It's
been very
amazing.
exciting.
It's
Yeah.
a fun process to watch,
Yeah, we put just
to be a part of.
milkweed in there with them, so they're just chompy boys.
And though
The
when they're
entire
in their
plant.
caterpillar form, you can watch them just eat a whole leaf down. You can stand there and just be like, look at you go.
It's phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
watching, if you've never watched a caterpillar up close eating a leaf, you need to.
You need to.
It's so
Absolutely.
fun. It's something you can't. It's like a fire. You can't take your eyes off of it. Like a
Just like a
waterfall.
fire.
it's
A
like in the
beautiful fire.
cartoons when you see like somebody eating a corn cob in the old cartoons. Do you
Just
remember that?
munching down and
And it's
back
just
and
like
forth.
brrr,
Yes,
brrr,
that's exactly
brrr.
what it is. It's phenomenal to look at, and then the beauty of the butterfly when it comes out, it's just fantastic. I mean, it's an amazing process, really. Metamorphosis. I mean, really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, phenomenal.
I think by my layman's research, I've we've got second generation monarchs here. The eggs are usually laid from May to June, and then these butterflies hatch for the summer. They're like a summer monarch. They only live like 2 to 6 weeks, and their job is to lay the eggs for the third generation. And the third generation is one of the migratory ones.
Nice.
So,
They'll be heading south, I guess, right?
yes,
They end up somewhere in Mexico, right?
Yes,
Ish.
in a high altitude forest in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Forgive me for not having the name,
That's okay.
That's okay. You have a lot of information.
Lots of
but
information.
they overwinter there, and it's just an incredible process.
I've
Let's
seen
all go
pictures
there.
of that.
Let's all go.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures. Like, I think Planet Earth did something on the monarchs.
They
not so long ago,
did, yeah.
and it was a phenomenal picture. I mean, it looked like the trees were alive.
I think
like
David
literally
has
just like
been there.
yeah. Oh yeah, he has. Yeah. David, our boss, David Bates.
Yes.
Shout out, hey David. Hope you're doing well.
You'll hear
Hello,
him
David.
later.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he has been there. But yeah, it was like the trees were alive and just like swelling up with butterfly activity. It was really, really cool to watch. So.
That would be amazing.
So-
Well, we've had our little guys protected, and now they are being released.
We've done all we can.
That's right.
That's right. We
and
kept
now
them
the
safe.
world has them.
Giant jumping
Again.
spiders. I kept finding them on the enclosure, trying to find a way in to eat them. They
No.
didn't get in.
No, we ain't jump spiders ain't getting in there.
I love jumping spiders. They were huge. I got
man.
one.
Still cute.
Still adorable. I had got one on my hand that was giant. I'll put it up in our stories. Listeners, this is your warning that our stories, there's going to be a big spider in it.
Yeah, I don't want to see
Austin's
that.
looking at me
Nah.
like I'm a monster.
I don't want to see that. No spiders on
Are you
fingers.
scared of spiders?
No, not really. Just don't want them on me.
Scared of
Especially when they're all
snakes,
jumping
Scared
around.
of spiders.
Everybody's scared of snakes.
I will say, so this jumping spider was huge, and I was sticking my finger out towards it I was getting a video, and I was trying to show how incredibly large it was, and it reached out and jumped on my finger, and I did get scared and dropped it, and I felt so bad that I went and found it, and then it crawled up on my hand.
I would have shrieked
But
a
you
little,
see,
a
it's
little
they
shriek.
stretch out their little bodies like this first.
Yeah.
Listeners, you can't see,
Yeah,
but
it's
imagine.
almost like they blink.
and then
yeah.
they just go bink, and they jump on you.
I know.
They're smart little creatures.
I guess
Jumping spiders are very friendly.
Yeah.
they are. You're
Even
right.
though they were trying to get in and eat our caterpillar babies.
Yeah. No, they'll get a powerful flick.
Don't
if they try to get
dare.
our babies. Look, we flick spiders that try to get our babies.
I do not.
I
No.
would. I
They're not
would.
getting
I
into
ain't
the
mad at it.
enclosure. Ain't getting in there.
All right, fine.
I love every week we talk about birds, frogs, chickens.
Hey, you know what? It's
Well, this
ecosystem.
is
Okay, plants are part
spiders.
of it. The animals are
They
with us.
are. Yeah, I
mean,
fully agree.
We should talk about the dynamicness of milkweed because it also hosts the milkweed aphid. It gets almost completely devastated by these caterpillars, but the plant itself still is intact.
Oh yeah, you
And
ain't
it
keeping
pushes
milkweed
new
down.
growth.
It
That's
is
right.
gorgeous. I have so much planted. And I mean, some of it, it gets munched down, but that's what it's there for. But
Exactly.
like if you don't have caterpillars and it fully blooms and goes to seed, it's,
They're
it's
just-
not quite as good, but
should
it's
be some
stunning. And they
understanding.
make really good cut flowers. If you have enough,
yeah.
if you've got a ton, like it's a really, really pretty flower.
That orange you just don't get to see very often. I mean, it's a vivid orange color. Just regular milkweed anyway, common milkweed. And yeah, you just don't get to see that orange color all that much. So
Yeah.
it is great for a cut flower arrangement. I can see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that plant. I just keep on planting it.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of, I guess, pollinators and fruit, why don't we talk about blackberries for a minute?
All right.
Oh, because
Hey,
those are popping off.
Shout them
right
out.
now.
Why not? My kids are just picking blackberries. It's been a blackberry nutso spring. That was weird. Don't know where that came. They're
thought it
not
was great.
nuts.
Keep
They're
going.
actually fruit. But
A lot of good fruit
most,
set.
a great fruit set, Tyler. Perfect way to put it. Mine are so totally red right now, but they're starting to go black. The kids are getting them every single day, just the wild ones out in the yard. And I don't like the wild ones all that much, but Tyler, you got some insight on some newer cultivars that are phenomenal.
That's right.
What
Thanks,
you got?
Thanks for the intro, Austin.
You're welcome.
We got a message from Will on the Bates Instagram, and he was worried about rust on his blackberries, and it can be a persnickety issue that basically he would have to dig out the whole plant if he wanted to get rid of it.
It's probably the worst pathogen that blackberries and raspberries both get.
Yeah,
Rust on the backsides of the leaves. It turns orange and awful, and it's almost impossible to get rid of once you got it.
that's right. So you have to dig out not only the crown but the roots of the plant, and with blackberry, that's no joke.
Mm-mm.
So he was asking for some disease-resistant varieties, and I did some research and discovered that there's one called Triple Crown,
Mm-hmm.
which has very good disease resistance. And then I also stumbled into the Prime Arc blackberry varieties, and those are developed by the University of Arkansas.
Yep.
They are what you call primocane fruiting blackberries. Now, blackberries in the wild typically are floricane fruiting varieties, meaning, like, let's say you plant a blackberry this year. You get a vine coming up. That's your primocane. That one that is coming up that is nice and fresh and green, that's not going to fruit until the following year. But with these varieties, they do fruit on those canes. So the way that you maintain these blackberries is different.
Yeah.
And you can also top them. They recommend you top them, and you get extra lateral branching and fruit production. Now, there's several different varieties in this web that the university, and they keep breeding new genetics. So, you've got the Primark Freedom and the Primark 45. Those are some of the earlier varieties that were developed, all the way up now to Primark Horizon. And they're developing these blackberries to essentially be better in the grocery store. Like, they're huge, juicy berries. They're also trying to breed the thorns out of them. They're the same university that came up with all of the Native American named varieties that are thornless.
Oh, nice.
Like Apache.
Arapaho.
And, yeah, exactly. That's them as well.
Well,
So-
they like their blackberries in Arkansas, I guess.
Exactly. And he also did
Yeah, they
say, and the reason why we're getting so much good fruit on them this year is that they do stop flowering above about 90 degrees or so, really 85, 90. So we had a lot of good days in the 80s here that just allowed a lot of good fruit set. So, and I kept going. Then people are like, I don't like the Primarks. I plant Columbia Star. And I was like, what's that? And so that is a type of interbred Marionberry from the University of Oregon. So now I'm all in all these like plant genetic realms.
Oh gosh, Tyler.
I know. But it's the most fascinating thing is that the development of these blackberries, first the thornless one, that's gone back all the way to the 60s. It took until the 90s. Like, it took like 25 years before a modern like thornless blackberry was ready to go. And then it took another 20 years to get the ones that fruit on the primocane. So, wow, you're looking at like 50 plus years of plant genetics and selective breeding to get to where we are now.
Hard plant breeders at work.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, good. Well, thanks, Tyler, for that.
It was a lot of information. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, well, we're good.
Ears are good.
Everything's good. Blackberries are good.
Yes.
Doing good.
Caroline, what you doing over there, man?
Doing great.
I said, what you doing over there?
And I said, doing great.
Does that make sense?
What am I doing? Doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, do you have any fruits in your yard you'd like to speak of? We're on the fruit thing.
I've got my blackberry field, but I haven't walked back there in probably a week or two because I've been pretty busy. But I'm sure there are blackberries back there.
Have you gotten a tomato yet? First tomato?
Gotten tomatoes. I've gotten my sun sugar tomatoes and the sweet 100.
Okay, so a couple
I
cherries.
haven't had any big
No
tomatoes
big
come
ones
on. I ate a cucumber out of my garden yesterday. It was great, right off the vine.
Was
Love
it
that.
crunchy?
It was very crunchy. Ton of green beans. My garden bed is just going crazy.
It's been a green bean great season this year.
Oh my gosh, and my peppers going wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really been a good season.
Every
for
day
that.
there's just a little treat. But now I'm thinking about my blackberry patch in the back and I need to walk back there. Maybe I'll take a stroll when I get home.
All right.
I might be dead tired though, so we'll see.
Go on home and whip us up a cobbler.
I'm gonna leave now. All right, bye
Actually,
everyone.
yeah, go home now, whip up a cobbler, and then come back.
Come and bring it right back.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made a cobbler before.
Oh, I haven't either.
I'm sure you haven't. I love to bake though.
Well, that
Listeners, if you've got a great cobbler recipe,
send it to Caroline.
send it to me. Send it to us. Send it to all of us because I know Tyler would love to see that as well.
Caroline, so will you strain out all the seeds of the blackberries?
No,
first? Come
those
on, man.
seeds are going in that cobbler.
Ah, wild blackberry seeds are so seedy.
And I'm gonna break your teeth with them.
Nah.
Yeah. That is true. That's the one downside to the wild blackberries that both you and I have is they have giant seeds in them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me. It's annoying. It'll get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah,
but
that's annoying.
I don't get as annoyed as you.
Yeah. Well,
Because I got so many. I mean, come on. They're like going crazy back there.
that's true.
There's no killing them. I mean, they're over there and they're there forever.
They're for the birds too.
That's a good point. Yeah, the
Mine
birds
are
are
mostly
always
for
around
the
there.
birds. Yeah. The birds love it.
Oh, well, Caroline, something annoying happened to you that you told me about earlier. I just noticed that we still have some plants in the studio today, and you had a bad thing happen with your switchgrass. Tell the people.
Oh, really?
Tell them
You
how
had to
annoyed
bring
you
it
are.
up.
What? It's not like sad. It's just more of annoying,
I'm just
right?
kidding.
Is
It's
it?
very annoying. So we had out where both Austin and I live, we had a crazy downpour. What was it, yesterday? Yeah. And when I got home, I have a lot of switchgrass, but the switchgrass that I have planted in a beautiful row of 5 right in my front landscaping, in front of my front living room windows, laid out.
Oh,
And there's no standing back up once it's like that. Last year, what I did was got twine and tied it up, but it looked like corn stalks.
yeah.
And it, it's
I
just-
know.
I know you love corn, but
Yeah. Corn.
it's just a different kind of look.
Uh-huh.
So the only other option is to cut it back or cut the parts that are flopped off. So yeah, it's very annoying.
I'm sorry I brought that up.
Why'd you have to do? I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know.
It's what we deal with as gardeners. Like stuff is going to happen, but
Yeah.
it also happened to my beautiful St. John's wort.
Ugh. St. John's wort.
But
It's okay.
mine is a beautiful little shrub. It's like the medicinal one that I have down in my herb garden, and it's in full bloom. And when I got home yesterday, again, laid out all over my lemon balm, my chamomile, my stevia. It's all on top of all of it.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
It was about time to cut it back, so I guess I'll go ahead and do it.
I mean, I love when we get rain in the summertime because it's always just helpful.
Yeah.
But when it does stuff like that, it just kills you. It's like you love it, but it's like, well, you flop my plants down, man. Like, come on,
Why'd
think
you
about
have to
me
do
for a
that?
second.
I know the rain was definitely not thinking about me yesterday, and I don't know why it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Rude.
It laughed at me when I got home,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and I was shocked, just like in Pee Wee Herman when his bike gets stolen, and you see his little feet with the locks all in pieces. That's a deep cut right there, y'all. If
Sure
you've seen
is.
that movie, you
I
know
don't
what I'm
even know
talking
that
about.
reference.
Oh, it's a core.
And then you look up and you scream, and you're like, "This happened to me. I can't believe it."
that's funny. Well, speaking of things that are a little bit floppy, my incredible hydrangeas, okay? Like the love of my life, my favorite hydrangea on the planet. I got 5 of them all put together. They're big and massive and beautiful, biggest blooms ever this year, like that I've ever had, okay? The rain has kind of laid them down a little bit, not real bad. Like Incredible does not flop all that bad, but it's right next, the one anyway that flops is really close to my gutter. And you know me, ain't fixed the gutter in a minute. My wife's been on me about that for a while, but I gotta get that fixed because it does. It splashes
Now
down
that it's
onto the
hitting
deck,
those hydrangeas, you're
hitting
like,
the
"I gotta do it."
hydrangeas, and it's starting to flop a little bit. So I'm doing an experiment this year. I'm doing it. Okay, I think I'm even gonna film it.
Whoa.
I don't know if I can film myself very good. I don't know.
Well, you live with people who can film for you.
True.
right?
I'll get my daughter. I'll get baby Penny out there with me. My
Get
4-year-old.
that baby Penny out
I'll
there
loan
with
you a
that camera.
tripod if
Yeah.
you
Okay.
want one.
Oh, you put a tripod up. There you go. All right. But no, this is what I'm doing this year, y'all. And this is like soon. This coming up week within the next few days. I am going to test this theory that if you cut back every single bloom, I mean, I'm talking like I'm going to cut these plants in half, probably take that much bloom away and deadhead them completely. I want to see if I get a reflush of leaves and then another rebloom for the fall season. And
Whoa.
I think this is going to happen, y'all.
I feel like you would have plenty of time. Wait, when are you saying you're going to cut it back? Soon? You
Literally
already said
within
it.
the next few days. Yes. Like it's got to be done.
I mean,
They're
we've got-
huge.
months of warm weather, and you think
I know.
about when they wake up, they haven't been like up for
Mm-hmm.
very long in the long run.
I know. When you think about it like that, yeah. And they're already starting to fade to that greenish color. You know, they're perfectly white whenever they're in full show, but then they fade to this green. They're already starting that process. But the funny thing is with hydrangea, especially arborescens type like Incredible, is that when they bloom, after they're done blooming, they do not leaf anymore from any other parts of the stem. The bloom sits atop of the foliage, and that's all you get for the rest of the season. So in theory, I go in and I cut these all back. It's going to have to re-leaf and then
Keep going.
rebloom. So I'm excited to see this process, and I do want to film it, and I want to see if it works. It's going to work. I know
think
it
you
is.
should. I'm interested to see how it goes because I have thought about that with some of my like different shrubs. I'm like, I wonder if I cut, the blooms back that are almost done, if it's going to bloom again.
Yeah. And there's tons of plants that will do that. We talked about Vitex earlier. If you're quick to cut back Vitex, it will rebloom almost all the way until the fall. You just got to be
Really?
quick.
I
Yes,
might
you
do
just got to
that.
be quick about cutting.
Last year
God,
I
they're
got a
so
second
pretty right
bloom.
now, though.
Yes, you definitely get a second bloom as long as you do some cutting on them. Because
Hmm.
once they want to go to seed, that's it. They'll want to hold on to that seed because that's for the next generation. That's what all plants want to do. They just want to reproduce, spit babies out.
Spit babies out. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, that's what they want.
Yep. So anyway, be quick to cut your stuff if it's done blooming, okay? And that goes with anything.
Well, I am looking forward to your incredible hydrangea project. Experiment. Saga.
It's a saga, really.
It will be absolutely a saga. At least take pictures. If you don't get video, just take
I'm going to get video. I'll get Penny filming me.
Get baby Penny filming it. She'll be a great camera person.
She'll do great. She'll get distracted and like follow a butterfly down the road or something.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All part of the process.
And you'll hear you in the background being like, Penny, get back over here. Yeah.
That's exactly what
It'll be perfect.
Speaking of Incredible, we have received, and I don't know if it's prematurely or not, some Incredible Stormproof.
Yes, I saw that, Tom.
What is that?
2026 proven winners new introduction, Incredible Stormproof. It's supposed to be sturdier.
It is. I know. I read that on the tag the other day in that pretty little proven winners white pot. And I read all about it. And yeah, it supposedly gets, I mean, the tag says 4x4, which is somewhat typical. You know, that's kind of like a, let's put that on every tag kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, the old classic.
At
How big
least.
is it get? About
4x4.
But anyway, that's what it says. But it also says that it's got very chunky stems. And the blooms aren't as big as Incredible is what it said, a little bit smaller. But it's supposed to not, hence the name Stormproof. Whenever we have these summer storms, when they're in full bloom, they tend to want to flop. These are not supposed to do that.
Are you going to try one?
No, man. I'm an Incredible.
No, man. I can't have one single hydrangea. What are you talking about, Caroline?
I'm Incredible, man,
That
for life.
stalled you. You were like, oh, what?
It's almost like he couldn't believe that you asked him that.
See, I like to try stuff. I'm like, that's cool. Maybe I'll give it a try and see what happens.
I love to try stuff too, Caroline, but I ain't going to go from Incredible, the massive, most perfect blooms on the planet, and step it down a notch. Do you
What
know
if
me?
you actually step it up? What if you're like this storm cloud? Is that what it's called?
Stormproof.
Stormproof. What if you're like, it's even better?
So,
And you're not going to know what you're missing if you don't try it.
It's the same thing with oak leaves with him.
yeah, I just,
That's true. My thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome.
My snow sickle oak leaf hydrangea right now, it is the best oak leaf hydrangea. Like my Alice in Wonderland bloomed, looked great, blooms turn brown, and I cut them off. Like they were done weeks ago. Snow sickle bloomed before that one. It's still going.
really.
And it starts to change, like subtly change colors as it gets later into the season. I wish I had just been documenting it this whole time because it is like, that is a stunning hydrangea.
Well, from what I've noticed about it too, when you say the color change, like it changes colors in an odd way. It's like odd colors, right?
Yeah,
It's
like with most hydrangeas, you think they go from like white to like a pink or a red or something as they start to die out and it gets hot and a lot of sun. But this one, like the center of the bloom stays white and it's like behind it turns like a purple and then kind of a green and it works its way to the center of the bloom.
I know what you're talking about.
It reminds me of origami in a way. It's very pretty.
I know. In the pictures you see, like it represents that very well, the odd colors you get in it. So good for you. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not greatly thrilled with that plant because I planted 3 and only one made it.
Yeah, 'tis life.
It is life. And it's the one I have looks fantastic.
It's the oak leaf life.
That's the oak leaf. And that's why you haven't taken a deep dive into that life.
Yeah. I've got one.
Is it in the ground?
Negative.
No, we already know that because you talked about it on the show
It's a good
on
point.
Saturday,
It's a dramatic old gal. Wilting every day when I get home.
which I guess it's about time to get into it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Hey, real quickly though,
Go ahead, Tyler.
I want to ask our listeners, because we've had a lot of new listeners to the podcast.
Thank you, by the way.
Thank you for
Yes.
joining this pod. We love hearing your feedback and we love hearing from you. And so I would like to propose y'all email us some voice recordings, voice memos, and we would love to hear, and maybe we can throw in a shout out or two on this, on the podcast. What do you say about that?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Like, where are you from? What are you growing? Where's your garden at?
Yes, and that gives us a topic to go into. Like, that's so fun. You know, we've got our three, you know, us three have gardens and we've got all of our plants and stuff, but we're limited. I mean, we don't have every plant on the planet. There's tons of people that are growing different stuff and odd things, weird things, have issues or not, or just want to speak of the beauty of your garden. Like, well, I love hearing all of it.
Yeah.
We should do this.
We should do this.
A voice recording. I would like to hear the voices too. That's great.
Yeah. Just get some other voices back at us, and we'll shout you out.
Maybe we can do like a little phone the friend. We'll phone people. Tyler, can I call somebody on the air?
Technically we can, but we'll have to work all that out.
All right, we're gonna figure this out.
Yes, but email it to us.
Oh, email. I don't know how to do that.
Well, luckily you don't have to because
It's
your voice
not-
is already
you
here.
just-
That's a good point. I
You
got
have to
used
send
to
us
it.
your voice,
You got
Austin.
stressed immediately. He closed his eyes and
Oh no, email.
grabbed above his nose. Wow. Dramatic.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
All right, Tyler, you're about to go on vacation, man.
Yeah.
I am jealous of you. You're heading out east to East Tennessee. You're gonna have a fantastic time trailing. Is that what people call it?
Trailing
off.
Trail
Which is
walking.
what the-
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
because you need to go. All right,
Yeah.
Caroline, tell us what they need to know.
All right, let's get into it. We were all here.
We're all here.
We're all
here.
Hair, man.
Had a late night last night. we were all here, the three of us, as well as Josh Carey and David Bates. Enjoy.
What you got going on, guys? What's on your gardening minds this morning?
Oh gosh.
I mean, mine is. I've been trying to keep all my plants that aren't planted watered that are on my driveway.
That's
I
a big
feel
deal.
ya.
And I think about
I
it
feel
all
ya.
day, every day that I'm here. I'm like, I hope they're okay.
How much time do you spend daily watering of those plants?
Not a
that
lot.
are-
I'm not good at it.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
that's
so-
why I think about it a
So
lot.
well, and and I have accused some of being in this. It's a testing program. How tough
Yes.
are they? What can they take?
Uh-huh.
And drought are one of the most overlooked areas of research. Apparently,
Come to
from
my
your-
house.
Yes.
I've researched them all.
No, I'll look at I got a oak leaf hydrangea in a pot, and I'll look at it
You
when I
need
get
to get
home.
that in the ground.
I know I do.
It's
I got to do
I'm
some
one to
prep
talk,
stuff.
though,
Yes,
so-
Sugar
David.
pressure's got it.
It's turned down.
Pointing
it's,
down.
Yeah, it's tired at night, and I look at it and I'm like, you got one more day. You're good. Like, look,
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
do
baby.
that.
Look, buddy. The
Yeah.
night's coming. The dew's gonna set in. It'll
You'll
be
be
fine,
fine.
and I'll water you the next day, and then we'll see if that happens.
You'll plant it one day, just like I'll plant all my stuff eventually.
We all have stuff on the patio or
You're
wherever
not a
you
true
have
gardener
You know,
if you don't
under
have a
the
driveway
tree.
full of
Under the
planted
tree,
plants.
that's
Under
right.
the tree is
Put
where
it in the
That's
kiddie
where mine
pool.
are.
That's
Yeah.
what.
Yes, that's what I do. Put them in the kiddie pool.
What
Yep.
Renee and I have going on at our house, it's been going on for a bit, is this black poly look to our yard. We've been killing off Bermuda grass.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so
man.
we covered the entire lawn area with black poly. And unfortunately, we've had a couple of weeks
Really?
of really now, but the weeks prior to that, it was too mild. It really was not. Didn't feel confident that we were going to get effective control, and it's a great way to do it. That completely circumvents the need to have to use chemicals on it. The heat
Yep.
from the sun under the plastic probably gets up to 170, 180 degrees. It does sterilize the soil. Now it sterilizes it completely, where that you lose both bad and
Good stuff.
So we may need to visit adding some mycorrhiza fungi or
yeah.
those kind of things into reintroducing that into the soil once we get the poly off. But we're going to be doing,
I bet the neighbors will love you.
well, we're just trying to say, no, do not copy what we're doing. I know, we may be viewed as being horticultural. They go, was this a new thing?
The
No.
hysterical zone cops will be
so anyway,
out there. Hey, what's going on here? This was not how it was in 1912.
This is a one-time event, hopefully.
Oh,
And
okay.
I will
Did you pull a
admit,
permit?
I don't think that's required for.
Are you sure?
Well, no one has called
Nobody-
it to our attention.
Okay,
so.
nobody knows now. Okay.
It's all right out there in the open.
Yeah,
Everybody can see it. So it's not a secret. So, and I have had a few little spots that I had to apply some herbicide to where the plastic doesn't stay down or there's a little light gets through. So I've had to do, but that's like very, very minimal. So we're anxious to see how the results work out and
It'll be fine.
getting all that.
What are you going to go
noxious-
back with?
We're going to go zoysia.
Zoysia.
Mm.
With the
Ooh.
That's the good
sun.
stuff.
Yeah. So we really are trying to get out and keep the Bermuda grass out. There was a time, and this has been many moons ago, where we used to grow zoysia sod, and that's always you can just see it running across the top of it because it's a much more aggressive grower than Bermuda grass. So, I mean, than zoysia, I should say. Bermuda grass is more aggressive. So, hopefully, we've done everything we can to get it out. But I promise you,
You didn't.
no.
It's going to creep back.
Sure will,
It's
but
evil.
it'll take a little while. We've stunted it pretty severely.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One of the I have a couple of patio plants that shouldn't be patio plants. Lobelia cardinalis. You
Yeah.
talk about a drama queen. Oh my gosh, it gets the slightest bit dry. They lay completely over. Unbelievable.
Well, they talk to you, Josh, and for those are things that we in horticulture refer to as clues.
Clues?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Josh, that's a great point, and that's just you're looking at your plant. You come home and you're like, "Oh my God, what drama!" You're flagging, you're wilting. It's awful. I need to water you, so you do.
And
That's the key with all your plants. Look at them. Just look at them every day. If you come home and they look good, let them be.
They're talking
Leave
to
them
you.
alone.
They are.
They are.
But
They're
if they're
speaking to you.
if you come home and they're throwing you drama, then you got to throw them some water.
And if there are things that are in the
Just
ground,
like you, throwing drama all
if,
over.
If there are things that are in the ground and they're doing that, then that's a lot more of an indication than something that's in a container, because it gets dry fast in a container. Heat stress is demonstrated much more quickly in a container because everything's above the ground. If it's in the ground and it's looking that way, then that's a call to action. Don't delay.
That's
I
right.
will say my eclipse hydrangea gets a little bit of direct morning sunlight, and with this heat it is like completely wilted in the morning, and then by the time it gets in the shade, I'd say it takes about 2 hours. The leaves are back up.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
see.
mad at my eclipse.
You've been mad at your eclipse for over a year now.
Well, I
But it
planted
can't
them in
be
the
more
wrong.
than that, because that's when we all got them.
That's right.
It was May though, so we've
it was
been
the week of the eclipse that we got them. I think, but put them in the wrong
Yeah,
spot.
yeah.
Dug them up, put them in pots all spring long. Glorious. One of them.
Colin's comment. We're just saying that Austin needs to be watered.
The words. I know we're not really
He
FCC
really does.
rules, but but I hit it with some Super Thrive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
Well.
we'll see.
it'll be okay.
It'll be-
Maybe.
I
Maybe
don't-
not. I don't know.
I
I said
don't
that and I was
know.
like, we've got some comments coming in. We do have one about Austin being a drama queen in regards to talking about water. And Colin says, so are we saying that Austin just needs to be watered more?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this time of year, yeah.
I do. I need more water. I need water I drink like 25
water
bottles of
every
water
day.
a day. Out here, y'all, you cannot not have water.
It's true.
Yeah, and you
It's insane.
cannot, you can't possibly drink too much.
No.
You know, out in the elements that we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
It is hot here. We were working on the succulent aisle and houseplants. We
Oh,
have some
don't remind me.
some stuff to hang all the hanging baskets on. And I mean, we were dying yesterday because it's like a heat trap over there since it's the full sun area of the houseplant greenhouse. And it is,
Hot.
ooh, it is very hot.
exactly as it should be, but you just goes to demonstrate
Good
how,
for plants.
how
Yes.
heat tolerant and how sunlight intensive succulents and cacti, that kind of thing, are.
Yeah, they're happy. We're not. But let's get into questions,
Okay.
y'all. I
Let's
think
do
I
it.
would say it's time. We're going to start with a question from Colin.
Hey,
Colin
Colin.
says, hey, y'all, tried an experiment and it didn't pan out. So now I have quite a lot of space in the veggie garden and no idea what to plant that will actually yield results this season. I've got tomatoes, beans, cucumbers, chard, and some peppers started, but that's about it. What can I grow from seed and starts if I can find them if I plant this weekend? Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Colin.
Yes,
Thanks
you,
for
Colin.
watching. We love you. You know, this time of year, it's kind of a random, weird-ish time of year for like food. Since you've already got your beans going, I mean, I was thinking kind of beans. You could probably still get those going. Why don't we work on some ornamental properties of your garden? Like, let's throw out some sunflowers, maybe.
Yes,
Sunflowers
Colin.
are fine. I mean, sunflowers take it into the fall. You can plant those way later, and like now, they'll still germinate.
They'll even work under a slip and slide, I hear.
That's right. That's right. I know what you're talking about, David. So I did a similar thing to David where he has black plastic on his lawn. I made a slip and slide for the kids last Sunday with black plastic, okay?
There you go.
Pinned it down, had a whole slide thing going. My 7-year-old Marley was just surfing on it like a little champ. Going
You
at
were
it.
so proud.
My girl. Oh, yeah. It was phenomenal. But anyway, so that black plastic is still laying there, and I looked at it yesterday. I peeled it up a little bit, and the grass underneath it is dead. And I'm like, this is good. But my wife has a packet of like 85 sunflower seeds, and she doesn't know what to do with them. And I'm like, I'm going to peel that black plastic up. I'm going to weed eat that to the dirt, and then we're going to chop it up a little bit and throw them seeds out there. And we're just going to have a random patch of sunflowers in the lawn.
That sounds great.
Does it? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of.
Yes, it does.
I
Why
guess.
wouldn't that be great?
I
You're
don't
going
know.
to find out.
The
Zinnias.
weeds are going to come around at zinnias as
Zinnias.
well. I was the second one I was going
Yes.
to.
I have sunflowers and zinnias. I kind of did the same thing. Well, I didn't put plastic down, but I just weed eated an area, random spot in the middle of my yard, and did sunflowers and zinnias. And they're up. The zinnias are blooming. The sunflowers aren't quite yet. Grass is growing in them, but it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It's going to make you mad, but
Yeah, a little
This-
bit. But I mean, sunflowers and zinnias are just like, Jenny and
The best.
and Forrest. Like they just go together. I don't know why I always go back to Forrest Gump references.
What about What about pumpkins for Colin?
Hey, throw some pumpkins out there. Colin, do you have room? Do you have space?
You don't have to
start
put
a
very
pumpkin
many.
patch.
It
Oh.
might be a little late for the Halloween. Maybe you might get some. I don't know. Might have some.
Some
it
are
might be.
some finish early.
Yeah. Maybe get some
The
little
little white ones,
little white ones or something going. Yeah, pumpkins.
This-
Are really hot season stuff.
This may not be a question that comes through, but it's timely in nature. Is that if you've got azaleas that you're planning on trimming and they've already flowered, if you're going to trim them, you got to get it done. Like generally, the 4th of July is where you go. That's
Yep.
the line of demarcation where you go. You really should not trim them after that. The reason being is that they set bud short after this next flush of growth hardens off, and if you trim them later, those buds never mature, and you will significantly reduce your bloom and bud count. So just a
Okay.
point on that one that didn't get asked, but it never does.
I got that's a great point, David. I got 3 azaleas like I don't know 3 or 4 weeks ago. I guess they were 1 gallons, but they were kind of big for 1 gallon, so it was a good price point. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna add a little filler to my bed. And before I ever planted those, I took every single stem and I tipped them out. I just tipped every single stem. That way,
Really?
Went ahead and did it, got it done, and that way it'll leaf a little bit lower, give me more stems to play with. So next spring it's going to be a showstopper.
Yeah, it's a question we get in the springtime.
Yeah.
After the say, why are my azaleas I've had planted for years not blooming this year? That's probably the reason.
That would be why. Well, let's talk more veggie gardens.
Let's do it.
Ideas for keeping possums away from tomatoes.
Oh, the old possum.
I love possums.
Pick those maters.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do about possums? I don't know. I
You can
mean,
climb over any fence.
they'll
or
do
dig
anything. They'll
under.
get anywhere.
Dig under the fence.
and they're always kind of more active at night while we're sleeping.
They got
so that
nothing
kind
else going on.
They don't. Yeah.
I'm
They're night
going to
creatures.
try putting a water source out there for them. So they had, because I mean, they're hungry, but they're probably seeking the moisture as much as anything.
And a bowl of cat food. There you go.
There you
Just
go.
give them a little buffet.
Maybe just
away
like
from your
maybe
veggie
just
garden.
throw a trash bag somewhere out with a bunch of random stuff.
Do that. Throw a bag
A
full
bag
of
full
garbage.
of trash. No, of cat food and
And water.
water.
He's so articulate.
Or
Yeah.
have a
Feed 'em.
like a rat terrier or some kind of a that stays outside all the time because they'll
I had a
give them
killer
some-
Yorkie kill one. Thought she did.
No.
Yeah, she
I don't
did.
know
She,
about-
she ran out in the rain because I saw her point up one day, and she took off out in the rain, and she didn't like to get her toes wet. So I knew something
She was
going.
after.
Classic Yorkie.
Okay,
Fancy.
classic Yorkie behavior. So I'm off the porch. I'm running out there, and she turns around to me. And there's a possum that was playing possum. She had her foot on it. She turned her head around like she was so proud.
taking it down.
I am the king of my yard.
She got it. I have a possum. We named him Possum Pete. And he eats our farm cat food, so he doesn't bother our garden. And he's giant and gnarly and old.
He's well fed.
He's well fed.
And,
Yes.
you don't have to buy the expensive cat food for him.
No,
you can
he
just
gets the cheap stuff.
I was
But he
raised-
visits us nightly. Yeah.
Squirrels are going to get you too, because I'm mad at the squirrels in Smyrna.
We're not really giving you a solution. We're just telling you all the other animals that might show up later.
I don't have a great solution for possums.
Rob 'em.
Well, it's nature. I mean, you're going to plant stuff and it's going to attract animals,
They will.
wildlife.
They wear my figs out. The low hanging fruit. They will devour them.
Yep.
They'll get it. All right. When should lavender be harvested? I just harvested mine. I usually wait until it's about like halfway blooming, a third to halfway, and then I'll cut it back. And I usually just hang it upside down and dry it. Yeah.
That's a great point. I mean, and also, harvesting is also pruning. And pruning lavender right now is a really great method. It just, top it out, and it's going to bush lower and make a nice little plant.
I should have gotten a picture. I don't think I did, but my lavender this year looked phenomenal. And it's phenomenal lavender. Hey.
There it is.
And particularly, we're coming out of a really hot, dry period, and maybe going into a cooler, somewhat cooler, and wet period. it's a good time to get it cut before it gets saturated consecutive days.
Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Earth Mix, featuring Garden Premium Topsoil Blend. This essential mix includes Tennessee subsoil, supernatural organic compost, humic acid, and mycorrhizal fungi to create a truly living soil. Garden topsoil is perfect for establishing raised, edible, and ornamental garden beds, as well as for planting trees, shrubs, and other landscape plants. Bulk and super sack options available. Visit earthmix.net to discover their entire line of soils and amendments and helpful blog posts. Success begins at the ground level when you use EarthMix garden products. What's in bloom? With Austin.
Hey guys, what's in bloom? You know, we went with the theme today. It's been hot. It's been real hot this past week, okay? So we went with those plants that like to bloom in the heat and they don't wilt and they're just as drought resistant as can be, but they're also beautiful, okay? So let's start with some annuals, all right? Some of those that just love the heat. Shout out Caroline Zinnias. Yours are just looking great, okay? I love that your zinnias are doing great.
You love that.
Anyway.
Love that for you.
Also, we brought some lantana in the room today back here.
Yeah,
Lantana loves that heat, y'all. Sometimes lantana, we don't sell it as a perennial, y'all, but a lot of times it'll come back, okay? So get it in that hot spot and it'll probably come back for you. Hey, shout out Ann in the office, Gomfrina, and your cat named Gomfrina. Welcome home, Gomfrina.
Welcome home, Gomfrina.
She's
was
back.
at the
Is she
doctor.
purple?
Yeah, she is purple.
She's purple.
She's purple. We painted
She's
her.
fiery. I love her.
Also with the annuals, Portulaca, Moss Rose, y'all. Hey,
Portulaca.
Portulaca. What a great sun-loving, drought-resistant plant. Okay, only blooms when it's sunny. If it's shady, it won't. So that's kind of cool. And then hey, the sunflowers are up and they're blooming right now. If you planted them late, they're not yet, but they will be soon. Hey, alliums are going nuts and just attracting pollinators like crazy. Echinacea looking great. I'm sure yours are. Black-eyed Susans are probably going crazy if I know your yard.
They are.
Upright
and they
phlox
look
is looking
amazing.
good. Do they look amazing? Great. I'm glad. Lavender's looking good. You already said that, so that's cool. It's blooming. Hey, gladiolus. I've got to go on a rant later about gladiolus, but it showed up this week, and I'm glad it did.
I
But
love
I'm
it.
also mad about something. You'll
I
hear
had-
about it
He's
soon.
mad about
I'm mad about.
glads.
I'm mad to be glad.
about glads.
I'm mad to be glad. Canna lily still going off. Hey Reese, your butterfly bush is still looking good. Ours are looking good around the lot right now, and they are drought resistant as it gets. Honestly, they like it hot way more than they like it wet. So avoid those wet spots. All right. All right, y'all. This week, the panicle hydrangeas have just showed up. They're all around town.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You know what you're looking. You don't even notice that bush that's out there the whole season.
It explodes.
And then it explodes this time of year, and you're like, oh, that's a hydrangea. I need one of those. They're great. I saw a whole bunch yesterday. They're just lit up around town. I've got a quick fire tree form right now that is just humming with pollinators constantly, y'all. And it's absolutely a showstopper right now. Panicle hydrangeas,
know the
gotta have
words.
some. Hey, Rose of Sharon this
Yes,
week.
baby.
It's been like 2 weeks. I feel like I forgot about it. But Rose of Sharon is still popping off, and it is just throwing new blooms every single day, just like it does. Magnolia is still going off. Crepe myrtle, just full show right now. This is crepe myrtle time. Is what we do. I mean, it's great.
we are.
Golden rain tree still throwing yellow blooms. I love yellow blooms. They're just fantastic. And then let's go to the goat on my list of drought-resistant flowering plants that attract pollinators. That's blue. That if you cut it back, it's going to rebloom a lot. It grows like a weed. As fast as it gets, it will never wilt on you in the yard. And that is Vitex, y'all. What you know about Chase Tree?
Yep.
Oh, Tyler, I know you love it. Yours is blooming like crazy right now. Caroline, you said yours is blooming like crazy right now. Everybody's around town is blooming like crazy. We brought some in the studio for y'all. It's mostly purplish, but we like to call it blue because that's what we do as horticulturalists. We don't get to see blue very much, so we're calling that blue. But y'all, like I said, you get this thing planted, it latches in. It will never wilt on you in the hottest of hot, droughtest of drought. It is an excellent plant to grow, grows very fast, and everyone needs one in their yard. Vitex, come get you one. We got them. That's what's in bloom. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo,
Austin.
bravo.
That was amazing.
Bring it, man.
Wow.
Here we go.
I do love my Vitex. It's
I
great. I never have issues with it.
My neighbors are jealous because all the bees are in my yard
That's where they're
from
at.
my Vitex.
Ooh,
When
yeah.
we brought in Vitex in the studio yesterday, there was like 3 or 4 bees on these blooms.
What?
They're still sleeping. It's early.
Yeah, it is early.
They
They're
stay-
tucked in, all sleeping.
They're sleepy. It's
Also,
okay.
this one's for you, Austin.
Okay. Oh God, the hibiscus already.
Hardy
Yeah, buddy.
hibiscus.
I haven't seen a hibiscus yet, so
I
this
saw
is
some
phenomenal.
purple ones, and they're gorgeous this year. Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sarah
Tyler, is
sent
that
that to
yours?
me.
Where'd she see that? I had
in
not
our
seen one
backyard.
yet. Your backyard?
This is the birthday plant that you got me
Oh,
years ago.
Man,
it's
you're
still doing good.
You're welcome. That is beautiful. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Is that courteous to say you're welcome before someone says
You're
thank you?
welcome.
It's just how he rolls.
It's
Yeah.
me and Tyler. We're cool. We get it. But that's
Tyler-
beautiful, Tyler.
Sarah had shared a picture too of how y'all put one of your butternut squash in a macrame hanger
Oh yes.
to help support
I
it.
didn't have that one
That
ready,
was
but
smart.
it's you macrame, pantyhose, whatever you got.
Well,
If
and
it's hanging from a
wear
vertical
short
trellis,
shorts.
you want to do that.
That's a
Yeah.
really good idea.
I know.
Yeah.
I loved it when I saw that picture. I responded to it
I had
immediately.
an uncle who was into organic gardening. I mean, way before it was even a cool thing, and he would build trellises for squash and gourds and that kind of thing, and use pantyhose to tie them up to grow them up and over. And he never had problems with rot or excessive water,
Yep.
any of that. So
It's the way to do it.
Dries out. Yeah, pretty
Great
good.
idea.
Yeah,
and they ripen all the way around.
that's right.
We got a zinnia question.
No,
Is there a way to prevent powdery mildew on zinnias?
negative.
Do not
Negative.
have-
Just rip them out of the ground. You don't need them.
plant them. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see a little bit of it on lower leaves a lot of years, especially
Yeah.
this one, y'all. I mean, think about it, how wet we've been. David's talking about our annual rainfall. We're almost there. So, I mean, it's been wet, and zinnias are going to have a little bit of that. Prune off lower leaves of zinnias. We don't need leaves on zinnias. Nobody cares about leaves. I don't want to look at those leaves. I want to look at the blooms. So if you prune off some of the lower leaves with that powdery mildew, first things first is you're going to stop the spread of it, racing up the rest of the plant, and you're going to make it look better, and then it's going to bloom. But I mean, if you really, really wanted to prevent it, you would have to spray fungicides. But who's spraying fungicides on zinnias?
People who love them?
Ain't nobody doing that. No, you love zinnias. You ain't spraying no fungicide, are you?
No.
Uh-huh.
But I don't have powdery mildew on mine.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
okay.
got it.
But if you did,
Mine look
you would just
perfect.
prune off lower leaves, or you would just look at the powdery mildew.
I would
Right?
probably just look at the powdery mildew.
I mean,
Let's
they're,
be
you know,
honest.
cheap little zinnia seeds, you know?
Beautiful.
Just prune them.
The butterflies love them. They're
Yep.
great. They love the heat.
Yeah, also let me ask you this: do you think you would get enough fungicidal effect out of neem oil to provide benefit, or no? I mean, it's a pretty mild fungicide. It's a pretty mild insecticide. for
Yeah,
that
it's pretty
matter.
mild in general. I mean, I think I don't think it would hurt. I mean, I don't know.
it's
that
not
it
gonna
would-
hurt 'em,
No,
but
it ain't
it's-
gonna hurt it.
But we
kinda
don't want
spray
to
it
put that
lower
on the
leaves.
sun, though, right? You don't put
No.
neem oil on in the sun. Right?
Typically don't, no. And that kind of goes, that's a general rule of thumb with a lot of sprays. Like,
Yeah.
if it's intense heat and just blasting with sun, like, we're not trying to spray chemicals
It
on
works
leaves
great.
on that.
It works great if you're applying herbicide to weeds.
Yes,
because
most definitely.
You want it to uptake as fast as possible and to have maximum effect, but you don't want that on other things you're spraying.
Exactly.
We got a live question in from Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
We haven't
Carol.
seen you out here in a minute, been a couple weeks. So Carol says, hey, y'all, some of my azaleas are encore. After which bloom do I prune? Spring, summer, or fall?
Probably spring.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you could technically get it done right after the summer flush, but it needs to be quick. Like David was talking about, we don't want to wait too late for that because we're setting buds for the next season, you know? So like right after that big spring flush that you get with encores, let's get those back in check, and then you'll see a new flush and a new bloom.
Yeah, and you may lose the. You don't get the. What I would say is slightly false advertising. It's marketing, is what it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
It says more blooms more often.
Sales.
You don't get more blooms on encores that you get more often,
Yes.
but
that's
you
a good
don't
point.
get more blooms because a plant only has X amount of energy. And
Need
when
that tooth, did you?
yes, I had a little
Had a
lozenge in my mouth. Sorry about that. When you produce more frequent flowers, if it were multiple number of times, you're using up the energy the plant has available, and because of that, you only have X amount of energy. So you get. And if you've observed encore azaleas, you'll notice that they're not profuse bloomers like your regular annual azaleas are. So you don't really get more blooms; you just get them at more intervals.
Yes.
And I think if in that context, it's an accurate statement, but it doesn't say more intervals. It says more flowers.
Yeah.
More flowers.
More flowers more
But
often. You know, some say there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. But we say Bates Nursery is. Located in Nashville, Tennessee, Bates Nursery and Garden Center is a separate world unto itself. They feature the widest variety of plants, including trees, shrubs, native plants, perennials, houseplants, and specimen evergreens. Their knowledgeable staff will assist you with any gardening needs, catering to any experience level. Open year-round, and Caroline, tell them how to get here.
Bates Nursery is located minutes from downtown Nashville off Briley Parkway, exit 19 in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. You'll see it's worth the drive from anywhere. No time to visit the nursery? Shop online with delivery and pickup options available for the greater Middle Tennessee area at www.batesnursery.com.
So if you want to learn a lot about living and a little about love, visit Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
So
very
let's
good.
go ahead and get back into questions. We are getting some live questions in. We got one from Isaiah that says, are there any good ways to keep crabgrass from taking over my flower beds?
No.
Not really.
Pull it early.
Not fun to pull either.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably Bermuda. Probably.
Well, they both do.
Right.
they're
now-
both horrible.
Crabgrass is just, and other grassy weeds are really
Like Bermuda.
crazy right now. Well, they're not rhizomaceous, Josh.
No,
and I know
excuse
you were
me?
going. I know you were going to say that they
Okay.
don't grow from rhizomes. Johnson grass does, but other grasses are generally from seed. If you're going to have success in controlling them, you could put down pre-emergent herbicide. Even corn gluten can be reasonably effective.
Yeah.
Early though, you got to be out ahead of the germination, so it's tough to control. Dig them out.
Yeah, Isaiah
Don't
would-
let them go to seed and be dropping.
Definitely
That's
not.
the thing.
That's the
That's the
thing. Yeah,
key.
when you see a little bitty grass popping up in your thing, and
That's
you're
as
like,
easy as it's
"Oh,
ever going to be."
It's fine. It's super small. Like, no, pull it then, and you will greatly help yourself out. Because give it 2 or 3 days, and that grass is like hard to pull out. You almost have to dig it. Ugh, I hate
It's the
crabgrass.
worst.
I've
And it
got a lot of
takes
crabgrass too.
So much dirt. With
It
it
does.
too.
You're
It does,
right.
yeah,
It
when you
brings the
pull it
earth
up.
out with it.
You know what I do when I do my garden walks? Because it will blow into my beds. It's always coming up, that crabgrass, and you see it one little start peeking up, and then like the next day it takes over. When I'm drinking coffee, I just walk out and I just pull it
Pull a
up.
few. Yep.
Here and
It's the
there.
way to do
It's
it.
meditative in a way.
It is, yeah. I was actually, sometimes I'm late to work because I walk down my sidewalk and I have a bed on either side of it and I start weeding and
You
then I'm like,
shouldn't have
oh,
used that
here we
excuse.
go.
You just use that excuse up on the air.
Again.
Don't tell your boss that.
Yeah.
I'm a very honest person.
I see.
Yeah. I get distracted by plants. You know, it's okay. And then Mikey on YouTube says, I came across a new plant I really like, the sea holly plant. Can I still start it from seed this year so it's ready to go for next year, or should I wait for spring next year?
Good old laryngium. What a cool plant.
I planted a couple different varieties of that plant this year. One
I
of
like
them's
the sea
doing
holly.
great. The other is
Yeah. You talk about blue. That like actually is blue.
Yeah.
Flies love that plant. It's a really cool little plant. You ought to look it up if you don't know what it is. But honestly, in my opinion, it might be late to start that from seed right now. I mean, I don't want you to lose your seeds, so like if you could wait until next spring, it'd probably be better.
And the seed are not going to go bad. I mean, you typically lose about 5% per year due to a lack of germination. So,
Should he refrigerate them?
Yeah, generally you keep them in the fridge. Yeah.
yeah.
That'll keep
well,
them
I think
fresh.
Mikey's near Pittsburgh. I could be wrong.
Oh,
A
Pittsburgh?
little bit different.
Same
climate.
rules
PA?
apply.
No, he's
It might
still
be
a
cooler
fan,
there.
probably.
Actually,
Are you
no, it's
still
hot
a
up there right
fan?
now, ain't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it
hot
hot?
in Pennsylvania,
Up north
yes.
right now, it's hot. Yeah. I mean, it's just that once you start getting into the 80s, upper 80s especially, seeds just don't germinate as well. It's just part of it. Now, if we're talking about sunflowers and zinnias, like we were earlier, they're a little bit different ballgame. But eryngium, I'm not sure that that's the way we want to go.
It's a fun one. I'm excited to see how
a
mine
pretty
does
plant.
this year. Yeah, I have not grown it before. All right, best fall flowers for Tennessee. And then they say, thank you. Fall flowers. Mine, what I talk about all the time is my Sheffield pink chrysanthemum.
Oh, chrysanthemum, great.
Love that one.
That
It
is a
blooms in
great-
the fall for me.
And it
is
doesn't look like
fantastic.
other chrysanthemums.
No.
It's a very different kind of a look. And, what are referred to generally as hardy mums are perhaps the most overused plant.
Yeah.
We sell them. A lot of people love them. I'm not a huge fan personally.
Mm-hmm.
There are a great many other directions to be able to go, particularly if you're thinking about later in the fall, pansies, violas, those kinds of things that are, give you blooming in the fall. And if it's not a really severe winter, they'll continue to flower through the winter. And then they, boom, come back in the spring. And then the really tough decision comes up where you've
Happens
got
every year.
I got to dig these out because I got to plant my summer annual. So anyway, that's a good decision to get to have. So
Yeah. Fall flowers are great. Asters also come to
I was
mind.
going to say asters.
Asters.
Yeah. I planted a bunch of asters last fall that were gorgeous.
Mhm. Asters are great for the fall. And then also anemone comes to mind. If you have a little bit of shade, that's a kind of rhizomatous growing plant, but it's a beautiful bloomer in the fall. So
I think it's the Japanese one that blooms in the fall.
Japanese anemone.
one of
is
the ones I
great.
have.
My zinnias lasted up until end of October.
Oh,
yeah.
they'll keep going.
They're
It's a
till
great
frost, so-
plant.
I mean, most of the annuals, are like kind of till frost,
Yeah.
as long as they're happy. So.
And sometimes I stagger plant my zinnias. I'll plant seeds, in the spring, beginning of summer, and
Only
then
if you've
I'll
been
throw some
drinking?
down a little
I was
bit
going to say, are
later.
you implying something?
You
that-
know
yeah.
what I mean.
Okay.
All right, best time to plant bulbs.
Depends on which bulbs we're planting. I mean, summer blooming bulbs like dahlias, gladiolus, things like that. You're going to plant those in the spring generally, okay? But when it comes to things you want to see in the early spring, like say tulips and daffodils, we're going to do that in the fall.
Don't you need to talk about your gladiolus?
Yeah,
You
thanks
left
for
us
that.
hanging. I'm glad we had that
Or
question.
as he calls them, Madiolas.
Madiolas.
Maddie over here. Yeah, no, I had I've been waiting for my gladiolus, y'all. I planted some out close to my driveway. Just been chilling. It's been great. Been watching it come up all season. It's beautiful foliage. Everything's great. It bloomed the other day. I sent you a picture. I sent Tyler a picture, I believe. I had some white ones right by, so it bloomed red. It was beautiful.
I have one red.
little bloom. It had the rest of the stalk for it to race up and just be gorgeous. I was just
Oh,
waiting
my.
for it. Then I had white ones about to race up the stem as well, about to come. Came home yesterday.
Dear.
Probably, Josh. I don't know.
no.
All gone. All the stalk, all the bloom, gone. I've
Sorry.
waited all year, and I saw one single bloom, and I got one
You
single
got a beautiful
picture,
photo.
and now I'm done for the season.
My dad used to like
I'm glad.
My dad
I'm
used to
so
like to give
sorry.
the advice with when you're planting gladiolas is to you buy what you're going to buy and plant them every 2 weeks
Yeah.
over a period of about 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And then they'll come up at intervals all along. Otherwise, if they're going to eat them all, they're going to eat all of them. Or if you'll have more coming on later on, maybe the luck will smile on you later on in the season. So, and eventually you don't get them chewed down.
No.
You have continuous flowers or more continuous. So anyway, it's another
so
approach.
pretty. I'm sorry, Austin.
It's okay.
Man,
I only got one bloom on mine.
Uh-huh.
One red.
but
one
you only
single
planted
red.
one, right?
No, I have a ton, and only one bloomed. They've been in the ground for a long time. But you were talking about staggering your planting, which is what I was talking about with zinnias, so you get blooms for even longer and healthier leaves. It's a great idea for so many things. All right, we're still on the best climbing rose for a smaller yard.
Go, Austin.
For a small, how small is it? I don't know. I mean, climbers kind of climb. They take up some space, so we're going to need some room. What's the Peggy Martin? Peggy Martin has been the most popular
Rose
climbing
of the
rose
year.
over like the past 3 years. Honestly, like we can't get enough of them. Everybody comes in wanting Peggy Martin roses, and I get it. Like that's a beautiful rose, y'all,
They
and you
really
can
are.
kind of keep it contained, and it blooms atop all of its foliage. Like, I mean, it is as full can be when it's in full bloom. Maybe try that one out if you like that kind of it's like pinkish.
It's very pink.
Very pink. A little bit smaller blooms, but like a lot of them. Okay, maybe try that one.
It's a
Why
gorgeous
not?
one.
There's
And
a
I
lot
mean,
of
you can
climbing
prune
roses.
them. Like you can,
Most
if
certainly.
it gets too big, you can cut it back. It's not like it'll just eat your entire house.
Yeah,
And then someone is asking, just planted roses, should I fertilize now?
it's not going to hurt. I mean, roses are very heavy feeders, y'all. They'll take food anytime you want to give it to them.
Yep.
Okay, get them fat, get them happy
Yep.
with the food. Now's fine.
the monthly
put it down
bloom-
and water it really well.
Water.
The monthly blooming cycle almost necessitates monthly feeding with conventional type fertilizers because they just continue to suck up that nutrition.
Definitely.
I do. All right, tips and tricks for growing raspberries and blueberries in containers.
Okay. Raspberries, you don't have to do too much. They're going to outgrow you
Yes.
Very quickly
You're
in
not gonna
all of
see
their
the pot,
spot.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to see anything because they're just going to take off. Keep them moist in the summer, but not overly wet. They don't really like that. Blueberries are exactly the same. They definitely don't want to stay too wet, okay? They cannot uptake nutrients very well, especially iron, if they're staying too wet. So in a container, keep them on the moist but drier side of moist, okay?
Maybe planting them together with raspberries around the edges and the blueberry in the middle.
Oh, man, now we're
I
talking.
like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Big old mixed container right there.
Well,
Well, There's the music, Josh.
Miriam says that Lantana
Miriam.
make a perfect Barbie doll wedding bouquet.
Oh, you're totally
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Just cut the whole top out of it and carry it down.
That's a super cute
It's
idea,
hard-
Miriam.
Those opposable thumbs on the Barbie dolls, though.
Oh,
Yeah. What do you
They're
do?
like their
Miriam, how's your willow doing? Send a picture, please. I want to
at it.
see it. Dappled willow.
Alrighty, folks. Music means that this edition of Gardening Inside Out is coming to a close. But next Saturday morning, the 5th of July,
the 5th of July. Yeah.
which, by the way, Greg Hall's going to be playing at the Station Theater in
We
Smyrna
don't
on the 5th.
recommend drinking a 4th on the 5th.
No, don't drink a 5th on the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
because we want you all here next Saturday.
Maybe a
morning.
4th on the 5th is too much.
Oh, well, okay. But hey, don't do stupid. We want you to have all the fingers to come back when you, and if you're going to shoot off the incendiary devices in your neighborhood.
Careful.
Yes, be very careful.
Adult supervision, that includes you adults.
And don't hold my beer. Okay. Hey, folks,
Watch
for
this.
everybody here at Gardening Inside Out, we love you. Please like and share on the socials and let everybody know that we're around for you. And hey, we'll see you right here from the Green Room Studios next Saturday morning.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.